What?
If we have quorum, I'm leaving at 2:30.
Okay.
So.
Don't be a quitter, Jake.
I mean, I won't.
I've got places to be.
I got a
People
soda.
need things to see.
Yes.
I got a soda and I got a small bag.
Nice. You can't stop me, Kyle.
Oh, okay, thank you.
David? Yes. I'll sit up here with our other camera.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Is there anyone gonna sit there?
No, so I'll have Double right here.
Oh.
No.
So you spin it around when someone's talking?
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, you've seen the video. This is an unusual setup. You have a lot more space.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jill Stearns is running.
Do the political clubs because a bill was just passed and it's called Yes Means Yes. It's basically based on women and like they and stuff like that. So I would look into that legislation and try and like enforce it because I know that a lot of like high schoolers don't know about that and just like maybe do like if you want I can do a
I'm gonna sit right there.
pledge update just on my phone.
No, it was
For what? Huh? What?
Well, 189.
You didn't put Jugger on today? What?
Yeah. It's okay. I'll just. I'm gonna help John.
Oh.
Yeah, sounds good.
Dude.
Pigs over here. Oh yeah, can you put my stuff up?
Maybe you can go talk to the nurse. I'll just wait. We have to go.
Let's see how.
Louise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that working or no?
Where are the thingies?
Oh, Drake.
I just want burnt popcorn. Well,
That's this hard.
Is it?
I just want burnt popcorn.
Oh, I can smell that.
It's
Okay. All right.
Gee, Will. Thank you. Your perfume. You guys know me so well.
What do you have pinned on the
Kyle, why do you have me way over there?
Hey.
I miss you.
But I help Jose.
That's Will's job.
Oh.
John,
For this mic, like it's a fuzzy one right here. Oh,
Ouch, did you hear that? Ouch. That's true. You're true about that.
First.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
So like if somebody has like no hair on his head.
There we go.
But who's? Yeah, because this stuff is right here. What can you? Yeah, I don't know what I'm. This is mine, right, Puma? Yeah, because mine's on. Yeah.
So,
Can you put mine on Facebook? Yeah.
The person or the character?
Is that this John?
No, yeah, no, we're fine.
I'm gonna plug this in.
no, we don't even plug you guys.
Oh, my scarf got. Oh, got it. It got caught. Oh.
I was on 2 meetings at the same
Oh, yeah,
time.
Jimmy. Oh, yeah, you're good. There's no way to get out.
No way.
After like,
Well,
are you gonna sit there?
Spark is like 470.
Oh, there you go.
Give it a take it.
Dude, it's freaking hard.
I sit right there, so don't even
Twice
sit
the years ago.
Yeah, you should.
I sit right here. Okay, I probably not.
Sorry, can you? I'll show Jack. Oh no, this is. Oh, this is Jack. And I think he's. Oh. Yeah. Because your stuff was there. Mine was there already prior to it, you know.
If they have a bus for me,
CSS, Counseling and Student Services. I'm sure that's my water. Imagine it's not. So, did he have a water with you? Yeah, it's serious. I want to say Cecilia and then make them and Daisy and Amanda are those. I don't know. Daisy and Amanda from Francisco. Francisco. I don't remember what my Brenda. Oh, it's Bean. Brenda was there. I'll come to see you. It starts at 120. 115. Oh, Papa said 120. Yeah, Papa just told me. On the agenda it says 120. Oh yeah? That's what he said. I have a longer. Jose, can you see your agenda time real quick? Yeah, then it's 120. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna put it back for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay. We'll be back. No, you can't go.
What do you do, John? Someone else did it.
Mine is right here. You guys want to be in here? You gonna be in here? Yeah, because I'm an excellent, awesome student. Look, everybody knows. Oh, from Andrew. I have an extra one if you
I'll talk to her about that because those are pretty rash decisions to often make without consulting me.
I'll bring it.
I do have the itinerary and I do have a preliminary. I'll get that to you.
I think just
Sup?
that because I was
Talk loud.
No.
Hello.
Is this pretty loud?
Is this good?
Is this loud enough?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no,
so I
without
said
that.
okay if you
Hi, John. How are you today? Awesome.
Okay, yeah.
prep, I think that's
John.
Okay, yeah, without a doubt. All right, I have the itinerary.
John.
It was sent to me yesterday night, I believe, and then the list I'm creating. Yeah. Okay.
and then also
My legislative.
so if he's going because I need to call the bus driver
Oh,
if
yeah.
we're gonna have a handicap person.
That was specified when we gave the call when Brad.
Because like a student thinks it could be.
Oh, Jonathan,
So I don't
your
know if
thing's right there.
No, we don't have a teacher.
Your thing's right there.
My car's there. Part of the reason why I was late to today's meeting.
I only had
is
2
my car would not
drinks.
turn on, so. Huh? Should be back in town by 7. I'll email that out tonight. No. They shouldn't be.
I'm worried about my battery.
Yeah, it's all on the state.
We used to march like,
This could be better.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Should I bring my charger just in case?
I would.
Field day is the 28th. Field day, I will not be done with field day till like 6:30. I start at 4 o'clock in the morning. Field day, when I look like this, I'll be like 3 times worse. I'm ready to kill people.
Nothing better than like slept labor.
For sure.
I'm glad to see what you're doing. I'm glad to see what you're doing. I'm surprised every time I meet that one time I get up in college. We need 10 people.
We should, well, I think we have 10.
We do. No, 10 in total. Yeah.
We need 10 to have quorum. Yeah, Camilla and Celeste and others. I was just counting.
Actually, no.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Not 12.
He doesn't count.
Who doesn't count?
He doesn't count. You don't.
I look for right here at the outside. Bingo!
Why not? They're not in here. Yeah. But Asia doesn't count. So we still have 11. But we still have 3 outside, so. 10.
No. I'm listening to those.
We have 1,200 people showing up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And to pay whatever for people. We served. We just cooked for 1,200 people.
There's a trash. Oh, neighbors. Are they cookers?
Yeah, I've had like 4, but no, they're not.
No, they're not.
When you cook hamburgers for 1,000 people,
Yeah.
your quantity, you're not quality. Cooking that, yeah.
It's what?
So just cover it with the seasoning, you're fine.
Oh.
By itself, it'll probably taste like shit.
Oh, that's good to know. Oh, by the way, nice email yesterday. You know what emails get monitored for that stuff, right? Just give me a heads up.
They take your email
Yeah.
because I put documents and shit.
I'm just saying.
I will laugh.
I'm just saying. There are people that will go up and use that.
I was like, don't make me hurt you.
I'll still zoom in. I still got your mouth.
Dang it. Wait. There you go. Dang it. I'm gonna be told
How far did it zoom in?
Shout out to Mrs. Westberg. She's awesome.
Oh yeah,
She wants me to buy John a banner. She's been around me 14 times. I got it. Don't worry. Mrs. Westberg, got you.
I didn't say like, well, you know, I put your wish.
She's probably sitting there going, Kyle.
You're not very illiterate? That's your worst thing? Actually, that's not a bad thing. I like Lycon. Yeah. I tried to drop hints too. I was like, that's some great mic work there, Kyle. And you're like, yeah, I have the mic, yes. Yeah. I did. I was trying to hint to him very, like, obviously. Yeah. Because it's in there. It's not, I don't have everything. It's in the, no, it's on YouTube, but this is just a stream. It's not sound. I didn't post the weeds yet. I don't think we will. It was a brilliant interview. I loved it. Okay. There's no train situation. You can go. Oh, sure. I don't know.
Compensated passage.
The ones that... Yeah.
Do you have my name?
Yeah, I'll do it right now. Okay, so you have it right now.
Oh my God. Oh, never mind. Here. Alright, we're good to go. You ready? Alright. You live? Okay. Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at, 1:22. From here, we're going to go ahead and go on to roll call. Let's see, myself, I'm here. Vice President Weaver is going to be running late. She's having some car troubles. Vice President Borges.
Yeah, here.
Vice President Mendez is going to be tardy. He's having a school event. Vice President Rao.
Present.
Vice President Brown.
Present.
Vice President Westberg.
Yes.
Secretary Keith is running tardy. She's on her way. Then we have Senator Andrews. We have Senator Cadena.
Here.
We have Senator Tafoya.
Here.
Senator Alvarez.
Here.
Senator Cepeda. Senator Cook.
Here.
Senator Tengluk.
Present.
Senator Galindo. He's not here yet. I didn't get word from him. Senator Acosta. Senator Manriquez is stuck in traffic over the overpass. Senator Razzo. I'll give this to you. Senator Ledesma.
Here.
And Senator Huerta Soto. With that, we've established. Trustee Campbell. He's working. All right, he's absent. And then Speaker Reed. Thank you. With that, we'll have the adoption of the agenda. Really quickly, I'd like to point out there was a bit of a typo up on the body of the paragraph. It says 115. It should reflect 120. If there are no objections to that, we'll go ahead and change that out. Oh, well, you're working off the old one, but we're good. Okay. All right. Well, there should be a 120 time for both those. All right. So we'll go ahead and, if there are no objections, we'll change it in the body. Yes. They should be. Oh, where are they? There you go. Sorry, they're usually posted up on the side. Who's missing an agenda?
This way.
So if you wouldn't mind passing a couple down that way, and if we'll get some this way as well. I apologize for that. Oh, no worries. Oh, okay. Then there you go. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and do we have a motion on the floor for the adoption of the agenda? Senator Alvarez.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any objection to adopting the agenda as read? Are there any amendments? No? Okay. Are there any objections to adopting the agenda as read? Hearing none, we'll move on to the agenda's been adopted. and we'll move on to public comment. Brown Act 54954.3. This segment of the agenda is reserved for members of the public to directly address the Student Senate on any matters within its jurisdiction. A time limit of 2 minutes per speaker and 10 minutes per topic will be allotted. The law does not permit any action to be taken, nor discussion of items not on the agenda. The Student Senate may briefly respond to comments made or questions posed. For an item to be placed on a future agenda, please contact President Rebolledo. At this time, do we have any public comment? Yes.
My name is Mike Lenahan, I'm a volunteer. Again, I want to ask you all to do the same favor I ask for each meeting, and that's to do a super fantastic job, because you're all super fantastic people and you do a super fantastic job. So keep up the fantastic and great work, and that's my request, because you're not good people, you're all fantastic and great people and you do a super great job. And I look forward to working with you for the rest of this year and coming years again. So keep up your super great people. And Mr. President, you do an outstanding job too. You're all great people. You're great.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do we have any other public comment at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have, oh, sorry.
I'd just like to know when we're going to be having on the agenda the centers, since we do have like 3 vacant seats.
Yeah, without a doubt. When it comes down to that, we're finalizing the recommendations as it is, and from there, we'll probably have it on the next agenda. If for some reason there are complications, I will do the 3 appointments, the 3 1-month appointments. All right, thank you. With that, is there any other public comment at this time? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to, we'll go, thank you. Approval of previous minutes for January 30th, 2015. Please go ahead and take a minute to review the minutes. I believe your name is still misspelled in that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if you got a chance to review that. But okay.
Also,
yes.
I was here on time for the last meeting. I was marked tardy, and I told you in passing I had a phone call that I had to take.
That was my mistake, sorry. We'll get that.
Is there any way I can get that changed to present?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that changed. I went ahead and did that. Yes.
I'd like to approve the minutes with the written correction sentence.
Okay. Do we have a second on that? Second. All right, so, yes. Yes, there are. It's 2:30 or 2 something.
2:30, 15?
Yeah, and then it has like a really long,
Yeah.
no sequence of numbers. It's on the second series, it's just the second number.
We'll have them technical difficulties, please stand by.
So that's not the right one.
No, that isn't.
Alvarez, comment like the mafia look going on. Vinci? I appreciate the step from Rebel to like,
No, there's not.
Okay.
So, all right. So with that, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes with any written recommendations submitted and changing the tardy to a present. Are there any objections to approving the minutes with the written corrections and the tardy change to a presence? Hearing none, the minutes have been approved. We'll move on. We'll move on to 10 business consideration and possible action under the executive for the Berry Hill plaque. Just wanted to let you guys know it wasn't on the executive council for the last agenda, but nonetheless, it's been presented. It's been. No worries, don't worry. You only get one of those though. So next time the hammer comes up here. The Berry Hills went ahead and really loved the idea about the benches. I'm not sure if they went ahead and gave their final recommendation, right? They're pretty much very excited about the benches. They're very excited about having the plaques with that quote that Tommy Ledesma went ahead and put in, and we're going to go ahead and move forward with the light post out there, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the West Campus, correct? Yes. Yeah. So from here on out, now that the Facilities Council actually has a form to evaluate all these procedures, we'll move it forward, and then we'll also bring it to a vote once we get a quote for the benches and the light posts and stuff like that, and see how much it's going to cost. And we'll also present a timeline for that. Are there any questions on that? That's pretty much it. All right, that was just informational. We'll move down to legislation, the election code. That was sent to you in an email. Yep. Okay. So for those of you that are new around the table, believe it or not, elections are actually right around the corner. Vice President Borges and the Legislation Committee have met, and the Election Subcommittee in itself has met already, and they've already went ahead and they voted on the election code. And then Vice President Borges, if you'd like to speak on this.
All right, so the way it's written right now, all the highlighted stuff is added, and there's also stuff that's crossed out. Does anyone need any clarification?
Can we just go through the whole thing slowly?
Let's go through the highlighted portions of the things that have been taken out. For those of you around the table, the reason why I say that is for those of you around the table, the majority of you should have already read this last year. Other than the changes with the additions and the strikeouts, everything's the same. So let's go ahead and go through the highlights, Brett.
All right, so first of all, under the...
Shouldn't that say eligible instead of legible? Under C1, says the candidate will not be legible.
This is how we do this. You know what? I'm going to pull it up right now on mine, so I can change it as we go, so I don't have to
It's better that we get these things hammered out right here than have them sent out to the whole school with our typos.
All right, so first of all, under the application process, item 4, once the ASMJC have set up an application email, all emails will be submitted to said email. That's just, in the future, we're looking at having our applications all be sent to a specific email. That way it's just easier to sort out, and it has a timestamp. That's the reason that's in there, just in case it gets in place before elections start. Down to candidate briefing. I said all candidates must attend the candidates briefing hosted by ASMJC advisor or his or her designee, unless prior notice is given. If the candidate is not given prior notice, the candidate will not be eligible to run.
Scroll down a little bit.
Okay, go back to right there. Oh, never down. All right, where it says the next highlighted portion under campaign contributions and expenditures, there's no, instead of campaign, it's going to be individual, shall expend more than a total of $50 or $50 US on their campaign. Rather than individual makes it a little more clear. Under case of 5, no benefits from YCC faculty and students shall offer to vote. Yeah.
So my question is for B2. So is no one allowed to donate, or is it there no limit on donations?
There is no one allowed to donate.
And why did you guys come up with that decision? Or what was the like? Is there a good purpose behind it, or
it felt like it was just
No, go ahead.
okay. I thought it was just more fair, is equal across the board, because when you get into that whole, you know, people donated $20. Like, you know, if I say I gave you $20 to give back to me, you donated it to me. So we just cut down on anything that could cause friction between any two people, because if you have no individual can spend more than $50 on their campaign, it's clear cut. You can't fudge that one. All right, down to 6, candidates will turn in their campaign materials no later than Thursday, March 26th by 5 p.m. on the East Campus ASMJC office. The candidates will be allowed to pick up their materials the following Monday between the hours of 8 and 5, and that's when campaigning will start. That's where they're able to go post everything around. In addition to campaign materials, when they're turned in, of course, all candidates must provide the expenditure used during the elections are due at this time. So that means your $50 worth of campaign materials are due at that Thursday, March 26th. The election subcommittee will go over, double check on the receipts, the posters, and then you'll be able to go hang them up, and we won't have, you know, you're not filing more and more in as we go along. It's just one time we're going to do it. Yeah. Any no? On the ballot, the change here is that we added potential electronic voting. We're still not entirely sure if this is going to happen this year. We would like it to happen though. So it's just it's kind of almost the exact same as the top. It's just worded in the way of electronic voting. Let's go down a little more. It's for tabulations. Winner will be chosen by a majority of votes casted. That is actually new this year. There's never been written that it's majority. So, to give an example, like last year in the presidency, how there's 3 candidates, no one really won by a majority vote. So we'll make sure it's a majority vote this year. If there's a runoff, then we'll have to runoff.
What if in the second you run off and then it's a tie, or somebody wants a recount? Does that set everything back, considering it's so close to the end of the semester?
Yes. Yes. That is a true statement. And well, if we elections are scheduled to start, I believe, April 6th. We have 3 weeks, so we'd be able to do a recount and a runoff technically before the semester ends. Okay, going down, the next section, the securing ballots. Again, the electronic voting is, instead of keeping the ballots, locked in a container, it's going to keep the data backed up and locked away in some type of container rather than paper copy of its electronic voting.
With the electronic system, if it is implemented, whenever it is implemented, is there going to be some sort of backup, or like in case the data gets lost and we're no longer getting paper, or are we taking steps to ensure that we'll have a safe backup for it, or copies, etc.?
What I can tell you is that from what I've seen with other schools, is that they go off and they have the information sent out to the advisor. So they have a copy of that information in-house, and they have it as a backup to the advisor. Most government organizations go off and keep records of everything for up to 3 years, so more than likely we'll follow that suit as well. Okay.
You can go down. Enforcement, down here, any parties that are accused or have broken the election code will be put under investigation by the election subcommittee. And finally, the amendments to this code shall be effective the majority of the Senate once the election code has been ratified. That's just clarification.
You did mention about the clubs vocally supporting any candidates.
Yeah, we just took that out. That was an amendment kind of put in, but when we met again for the legislative committee, we decided to take that out. That's why I put any parties.
Yes.
So clubs can now vote, or can now support candidates?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I understood in that movie.
Yeah. It was changed, and then it was put back to the original version. Yeah.
It's under.
It's under voting, I think, isn't it?
Probably the campaign regulations. I'm thinking.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Or no benefit.
No club or student organization may endorse candidates, nor shall any club or student organization use club funds to contribute to a campaign. There we go. All right.
In the back?
Yes.
Isn't that technically a limitation on the club's free speech? The clubs, just because they throw their support behind or say that they endorse the candidate, you can't just say that they can't do that.
Okay. I really don't have an answer to that. You bring up a good point.
So, just to address that concern, this hasn't been approved through the Senate yet, so if you want to make a suggestion and try and get one of the senators to motion to allow clubs to do that, you can.
But if you legally can't do that, then it's a moot point.
Okay, I get it.
We'll definitely look into that and see how we can accommodate it. If it is,
if there are legal questions behind it, we will reevaluate it. Sound good? Thank you for bringing that up then. Is there anything else?
That was when we finished the election code as far as the changes go.
All right, perfect.
Anyone need any points of clarification?
I do. Sorry, I have
Yes.
one. I have two concerns. One is the training for the use of this new software for the voting. Who's doing the training and how much training is being done?
We haven't found the software yet, so I can't answer that.
Okay, and then the second one, do you feel like $50 for 23,000 plus students is enough to really get this college-wide? I think we need to really consider that everything we do as a body, even in elections, we are always getting information out to the students, and I'm wondering if $50 is going to be enough to really get college-wide material out and information in a proper way to our student body.
It's the same as last year. I definitely saw a lot of posters last year so.
Actually,
no, it wasn't. It was actually the same.
it was $50 per person.
Hold on. No, it was $50.
Point of order, debate.
Thank you. Speaker Reed, I saw you.
I think that it should stay $50. This is just my personal opinion because we do have students who may want to run who aren't really financially stable. So why would we give people the upper hand necessarily? I just feel like we've done $50 in the past and it's been really successful and should stay $50 because it's not extremely a lot of money and it's not too little bit of money to get advertising out there.
Thank you. Vice President Brown.
I'm fine with the 50. And in my opinion, I think the donations would be a good compromise to that. Like, okay, I can only spend 50, but I can get donations. My main point was that last year we did have one of the highest turnouts in voting with this set regulation then. So I don't see it as a huge problem, but I think the donations should be put back in for that problem. Exactly, like if we want to spend more, at least we have people that can help us, and there'll always be financial records processed with that. So I think that'd be a fair compromise to put that back in and to keep the limitation at 50 since it has been proven to work in the past 4 elections. That's
Okay. Yes.
The reason I took it out is because and the election committee, or the legislative committee agreed with me is that it's easier to keep track of. It makes it so that there's not, no one can violate the election code in that respect. I mean, obviously they can violate it if they want to keep putting up posters and they do take more than the $50 regulated. But I feel like, and also the committee felt that this was going to be the right thing for the job.
All right, thank you. So with that, this is what we have proposed on the floor. What was the recommendation from the election the election subcommittee?
We gave it a due pass.
All right, so with that, do we have a motion on the floor?
Question, there's an election subcommittee already?
No, it's in the legislative.
It's legislation, it's
The
open.
legislative committee created the election code, and then I'll talk about the election subcommittee.
Okay, so it's from the election committee, not the election subcommittee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Most of the people who
Will be, but
Yeah.
for now it's still.
Yeah. It's still open. So with that, do we have a motion on the floor? We need to go ahead and approve this through the Senate, so that way we can go ahead and move forward with the timeline. Senator Tengeluk,
I move to approve the election code.
do we have a second? Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on this? All right, with that, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of approving the elections code with the, as presented before us, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? We have Senator Manriquez and Senator Galindo. So with that, we've adopted our elections code for 2015, and we'll move forward with the with this and the timeline as presented. We'll move on to finance now. Item 1, not to exceed $1,920 for the 2016 NCWCA conference for the Writing Center out of 71 ASMJC Presents. We have 2 guest speakers right here, so if you guys wouldn't mind situating yourself and then letting us know. We also have the supporting documents for them as well as a visual.
So, how are you guys?
Good.
All right. So whenever you guys are ready, go ahead.
So thanks for having us. So I'm Rachel, and this is Nick, and we both work at the Writing Center. And we want to attend this conference because it'll give us a really good opportunity to interact with writing centers from across basically the country and come in contact with different paradigms, different techniques for tutoring, and just enrich our own understanding of the process so we can better serve our student body. And also to build our confidence and allow us to make connections with each other and become just more effective as a writing center.
And overall, I guess I'll just go over the general expenditures and kind of what it's going towards. Kind of the breakdown of the cost for it. Overall, it's about $1,915. It goes to transportation, meals for us on the trip. Yeah, I think it's down a little ways.
A little more?
No. Oh,
it's up actually.
Oh, never mind. That wasn't yeah. So go ahead and
because we have physical copies also. If anybody would like to see one of the breakdown.
Go ahead and pass them around if you don't mind.
So we don't have enough for everybody, but we weren't sure how many. So, but it's kind of a breakdown of just the general cost. But so for transportation, it's going to run about $150. For the meals for 13 tutors, which we're taking, it's $30 for each tutor to go. And then we have lodging, because this year we're actually going to be able to stay overnight at the conference, which is awesome, because last year we went and we were only able to go for the Saturday, but they have an entire another thing that gives like a breakdown for teachers and kind of like the method behind teaching tutors basically on Friday. And so we're able to stay there for one night, and that's about $625.
Where's it at?
It's in Fresno this year. Last year it was in Sonoma? Yeah, it was in Sonoma last year, and this year it's in Fresno. And then the registration fees are $750 for total for all 14 of us, I believe. So basically, like she said, it just gives a great opportunity for us to kind of... Oh, did you have a question about it? No. Basically, it just gives a great opportunity for all of us writing tutors to just kind of go down there, learn things we haven't seen before, be exposed to new ideas, and kind of just bring those back to the school and really help the student body. Especially because we see thousands of students every semester, and that reaches to other students through them as well. It's a really great opportunity for us to be able to go. So, I mean, does anybody have any questions about what we do or the purpose of it?
Would you mind explaining? I believe you guys went there last year. If I'm not mistaken, you made a presentation as well last year.
No. Oh, like here last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Were you a part of last year's trip?
Yeah.
What did you learn in which?
Okay. It was actually really cool because when you go, they have like a whole slew of different presenters from different colleges. So you go and you kind of get the other side of different schools and what they do with their students and what their kind of theories on tutoring is. So personally, what I learned is just a bunch of different kind of insights in ways to tutor. I mean, because there's kind of hands-off approaches, hands-on approaches to it. There's a lot of help with ESL and like helping students of other languages because we have a huge program for that here. There's a lot of stuff on incorporating technology into the Writing Center and tutoring, which we don't have much of that currently, but there are a lot of things last year where they're trying to, in a bunch of other schools, help with online tutoring and incorporate different technologies and stuff like that. So for me personally, it's been a great experience because I've kind of every year we get a new batch of tutors that come in because people transfer out or they can't tutor anymore, and I've been able to bring that back and help our new tutors to kind of new experiences for them and new methods of tutoring and everything like that.
All right, but thank you for bringing some insight into that. So with that, do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Andrews?
I move to approve not to exceed $1,920.
Moved and seconded. What was the recommendation from the Finance Committee? Oh, never mind. No, we're good. All right, so with that, do we have any discussion? Yes.
I would like to recommend that we can bump the price up to $2,500 to add in a $500 cash advance for any miscellaneous problems they may experience, because I know they didn't budget that. And it's just if I can make that recommendation and a motion or amendment. Because
You said we can't make any difference.
No, like adding on to the agenda. Like adding language.
I understood it now.
No, we've been able to strike out prices and add it before.
I believe you can't add new things to the agenda. You can change some of those.
If it's not over $1,000.
Okay. Is that a motion?
Yeah, I move to amend the price from $1,920 to $2,500.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on the amendment of striking out 1920 and inserting 2,500?
And the reason I make the amendment is something we did with a few of the other clubs in the past, is when I noticed the club's budget breakdowns, they don't have any miscellaneous expenditures for in case they come up with problems like the bus breaks down. Once they get there and the rooms are booked, we've had that happen to the Senate, and we've had to get different rooms and they've been more expensive. So I like to be able to provide that cushion. As we all know, if money's not spent, it does just go back into the account and it's just there in case they need it. It's our way of kind of providing a safe haven for them. If something goes wrong, it doesn't have to come out of their pockets because we're all students.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of striking out $1,920 and inserting $2,500, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the amendment passes, and now we're on the main perfected motion, which is not to exceed $2,500 for the 2016 NCWCA Conference for the Writing Center out of 71 ASMJC Presents. Do we have any further discussion on this? Vice President Brown?
Can I, if I may, I'll direct my recommendation to the chair for the writing center. I would recommend that they use the bump of money to do a form for a cash advance. I don't know if I can recommend that, but that's why I would recommend they go.
They actually do have a cash advance in place for the food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever else they can use, that's my recommendation.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. With that, do we have any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote for the perfected motion for the perfected item under 1, which reads not to exceed $2,500 for the 2016 NCWCA Conference for the Writing Center out of 71 ASMJC Presents. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, congratulations. The motion carries. Now we'll move on to item 2, not to exceed $4,970 to the 28th Annual Latina Leadership Network Conference out of 71 Cultural Diversity. Senator Tingeluk, and I think we also have someone else in the audience that would like to present on this.
Oh yeah, so it's actually $5,900 now because we didn't get the actual hotel fees for the taxing part before we submitted the paperwork, so it's an additional $192. And also for food, we just counted for the way there, not the way back, so we wanted to have additional like $300 more for the food on the way back. And then for transportation, we were sticking with the 11 passenger van, but no one has the special license for that, so we would take 2 8-passenger vans instead. And that is $404.07.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what was the total again?
5,900 at the 5 minutes.
5,900. Okay. So with that,
and there's paperwork, I could pass it around.
Okay. Yeah. So we're good there. What was the recommendation from the Finance Committee?
Positive.
Okay, and it was for the 5,900. All right. So we do need a 2-part motion here, or the main motion to go off and include the striking out of the 4,970 and include the 5,900 if you guys want to approve this. We have a motion on the floor. Senator Andrews.
Move to approve item 2 under finance.
You should just move to approve it. That's not what I meant.
Okay. So move to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any amendments onto this?
I move to amend.
Yes.
I move to amend the 4,970 or 4,970 to 5,900.
Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the amendment? Yeah, Senator Andrews.
Okay, the reason why this was done in finance is, as Senator Tingeluk had explained, there were some changes that had to be made in finances, and to just make it an even number, we just went ahead and set it at 5,900 to include all of that and add a little bit more buffer.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the side?
Do you want me to explain the purpose of the conference, or?
That would be for the motion.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're talking about the amendment right now.
Okay.
Can we, when we're done with this one?
Okay.
Any further discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of striking out $4,970 and inserting $5,900, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the amendment passes. And then, would you like to explain?
Oh, yeah. So the Latino Leadership Network was founded in 1987 because there's the Latino community colleges of California were they weren't representing Latinos at a degree where they should have been represented. So as students and educators and staff, administrators and trustees, they bring together different diverse students who understand the need for higher education and professional development. So that's pretty much what the conference is for. And since it started, they've been encouraging the personal growth and the educational success of their members that attend the conferences through regional participation, statewide networking, policy formulation, and academic and professional conferences, which is the purpose of it.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any further discussion on the main motion? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. Oh, sorry.
How many days is it?
3 days.
3 days.
Yes. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Senator Razo?
So it says Latina, so it's only women?
In the past, can I answer that?
Yes, go ahead.
In the past, there have been like men, and not only Latinos. There's African American, and myself. I'm going to be there, and I'm not Latina or whatever. So it's open to anyone who wants to participate.
I wanted to clarify that.
All right, thank you for the question. All right, any further discussion on this item? Yeah.
How did they get the people decided, or is it still the decision process? Who are these people, and what was the application process at Central University?
So what happened is it's a club. It's a club conference. So it's not me as a senator. It's me as a representative for Metro, because I'm their secretary. So we were getting members from the club and from possibly from BSU. So it's more cultural, but I don't know the process after that. But.
You would apply or just?
Yeah.
So right now, we're choosing Metro members who've been really hardworking, and also BSU members who invited us also for their Black Caucus. So since we're pretty much sponsoring and collaborating and everything together, we're going to take this conference as, together as a whole and learn also as people of color.
And bring back information to help the students on this campus.
With that, do we have any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of approving item 2, which now reads not to exceed $5,900 to the 28th Annual Latina Leadership Network Conference, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we'll go ahead and move on to item 3, not to exceed $5,000 for cram night out of ASMJC. It should be benefits program, shouldn't it? No? ASMJC presents? All right, out of ASMJC presents. It's not up there. They were right next to the agendas. Did you guys get a chance to see the paperwork? Where's that? Come again? Yeah, it's the same exact budget. It should be somewhere around here in the midst of the paperwork. For those of you that attended the Finance Committee meeting, there's a copy of it. Nonetheless, it's the same budget as it was for the fall semester. We went ahead and had a successful event during the fall semester with very little to no food left over to go to waste. So we went ahead and didn't reinvent the wheel for this situation. Yes.
What day is cram night?
When is finals?
The week of April 27th.
The week of April 27th, it's the Thursday before. Yeah, thank you for that. So with that, what's the recommendation from the Finance Committee? It's positive and it's all the budget as well. So with that, do we have a motion on the floor for this item? Senator Manriquez.
I move to approve not to exceed $5,000 for cram night out of 71 ASMJC persons.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. Oh, sorry, Senator Raza.
Oh, I have a question. Who's putting it together?
Right now, it's myself and Secretary Keith. Yeah.
So last time, after the last time I made a suggestion.
Yeah.
If we can get instructors to teach the subject that they're teaching at different levels, so I had students leave upset because all the instructors were teaching the same time.
Okay.
So just a recommendation that we can ask the teachers.
When we send out the volunteer sign up for this, we can go off and see what the best way to phrase that and see if we can separate it out by subjects and different levels of math. Okay? All right, thank you. And we'll note that down. With that, do we have any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of approving item 3 under finance, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion passes. We'll move on to item 4, not to exceed $3,200 to Capture Technologies for the purchase of ribbon ink for the ID cards out of 71 benefit programs. That's actually, that's on there. So pretty much the gist of it is we're running low on ink, and just so make sure that we have enough, make sure we're future planning for these events, we're going ahead and buying 40. Our usual order is of 20, so we go off and we order 20, and 10, that order gets split between both campuses. This time around, we're going to go ahead and double that order, and we're going to have 20 ink ribbons for West and 20 ink ribbons for the East Campus. So it's a pretty straightforward order. Do we have a motion on the floor? Vice President Brown.
I move to.
Moved and seconded. Recommendation from finance?
Yes.
Positive? All right. Discussion? Yes.
The question is, because I'm not good with these things.
Yeah.
Does the ribbon or like whatever the product we're purchasing, does it have an expiration of any kind? I know it's like a weird question, but it's a follow-up.
You know what? I don't have a perfect answer to that. I know that whenever you buy some, do you have an answer to that?
Okay, the ribbon basically is like you put it in, when it runs out, you put it in, and we just use it till it runs out. That's what we just keep using it. It's like a typewriter ribbon, if you remember what that is.
All right, thank you. I can tell you that whenever you buy a product, it usually has a shelf life of about 3 to 4 years, so I think we should be good.
Okay.
Yes.
The reason I asked that is because maybe we could look into having a stockpile. I know we are having a stockpile now. Maybe we can see how long doubling our order will last, and that'll allow us to say, like, say it lasts for the rest of the semester or like however many months, and we can use that to stockpile for a full term or full spring or full fall, and this way we only have to prove it like once, and like we can start integrating that to our systems.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do a better record keeping of that. With that, is there any further discussion on the main motion on the floor? Hearing none, we'll move this to a vote. All in favor of approving, item 4 under finance, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion carries. We'll move down to item 5, which is not to exceed $8,800 for New Student Day out of 71 Food and Hospitality. I think we have someone to present on this.
Yeah. Okay, so the one I sent with the agenda, it was the old one, but I have an updated one. I don't know if Don put it up, the new one.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay. So basically, we're going to be having New Student Day on March 14th, and I put like the stuff that, like rice, beans, meat, or chicken on a plate for like 1,000 students, and then water bottles for the students as well, and then we're having pizza for like the clubs and like other students if we run out. So, and I added a buffer and I put it at the bottom as well.
All right. With that, what was the recommendation from the Finance Committee?
To receive the positive recommendations from the Finance Committee.
Positive. Thank you. Do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Tingler?
I move to approve item number 5 under finance.
Second. Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on this? Vice President Brown?
I'm all for it. My question is, how do we go from 7,900 to 8,800? I'm lost there.
Yeah, good question. So on the original budget, it wasn't complete, and we were factoring for both events. This time around, we're budgeting for this first day, which is March 14th. We're going to go off and see the success of it, and then we'll, since the event isn't until 2 months from now, we'll have perfected numbers for the second event.
So new student days.
Yeah, this one that we're voting on is for March 14th, with more precise numbers of how the first one goes. We'll bring it back for the second day.
Oh, so we're not going to approve this amount again?
Not this amount, a more concise amount. Yeah. Okay. All right. Do we have any further questions? Yes.
Okay, so new student day in March?
Yes.
Elaborate.
It's March 14th. Yes.
So, new student day, so give me some background on it.
Oh, okay. This is for the cameras, I take it?
No, this is for me, because I'm seeing new student day and it's middle of semester. So,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll explain it. There was a little bit of a lapse. Sorry for the communication. What happens is that New Student Day is an event that's held through the school. This is actually a relatively new event. The first time they went ahead and kick-started this was last year. It was so successful that the projected numbers that they had for the people that were coming in and the volunteers actually were broken, and they ran out of food. So the whole gist of it is that the counseling department and the whole school comes together to go ahead and open the campus up for high school students, primarily high school juniors and seniors. The students come in here, they open up the Performing Arts Center, the library, the Student Center, and the forum. Pretty much they take over East Campus on a Saturday, and what they go off and they do is, the concept behind it is a one-stop shop for registering for MJC. They take you and they advise you, they meet up with a counselor, they develop a preliminary class ed plan. Thank you. They develop an ed plan with you, and then ultimately, at the end of the day, if you still have enough time and you've made good decisions, you have the option of registering or being pretty much ready to register by the time registration dates open. Yes. So I saw Senator Cepeda. The times, the event as a whole is an all-day event from 8 to, I believe, 3. And actually, towards the end of the thing, during my address, there's going to be a volunteer opportunity for both Senate members and clubs, and we'll discuss that at a further time. Senator Galindo.
You kind of answered it. And I was going to say, I recommend everybody volunteer. I volunteered both times last year. Like you said, it was a very successful event, so I recommend to everybody to volunteer.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on this item? Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. I had no idea what it was. That's why we're having new student day in March.
It's for the new...
Now
yeah.
I understand.
All right. Thank you. So with that, Vice President Brown.
Question, and I know that we're going to most likely be volunteering.
Yes.
But will AS have a designated table with handouts and stuff to present to the high school students? I have not attended a new student day in the past, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, from the preliminary conversations with both Celeste, the committee that's in charge of this, and both the person in charge, we will have a table. We will have, they're requiring a max presence of about 10 to 12 clubs, so there will be tables for that. Hopefully we can relay that over to the club members over there at the ICC. And then we will be having an active part of it as well. And they will announce us and have a speaking opportunity there as well to address everybody. Yeah. Senator Cook?
How do we go about volunteering?
There is a sign-in sheet somewhere in the paperwork. I will pass that around during the address of the chair. And as you'll see, they'll ask you for a shirt size. They ask you whether or not you want chicken or veggies. It's all on the sign-in sheet. It's a very well thought-out event. Senator Alvarez.
Is it just the East Campus that's being toured, or the West Campus and Tech Ed facilities be toured as well, and all that?
It's not a tour. It's just being housed on the East Campus because they have better facilities and the rooms are just much bigger.
So it's just a registration?
Just a registration, counseling kind of a thing, yeah. All right, thank you. So, I saw your hand. Do you still have to speak on this or no?
Oh, no.
No? Oh, sorry. Senator Andrews?
It's like I mentioned in the finance meeting,
Yeah.
and it's worth mentioning again. You're given less than 2 weeks to get the paperwork submitted and through for the payment. So you're cutting it really close. And there's still a chance that the paperwork might not get through for this to get done.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that if you're going to do it, you need to do it now. And what happens if the paperwork doesn't go through?
Okay. I can similar message. We have a Tuesday, Thursday deadline, so we'll make sure to go off and meet that Tuesday, Thursday deadline. If for some reason, God forbid, that it doesn't get passed through this week, we still have next week for that Tuesday to fix any problems that we may find, and in collaboration with both our advisors and the business department.
Thank you for bringing it up, though. Vice President Weaver.
So who is overseeing?
It's not a specific department. It's a collaboration between all the departments on campus. I can tell you the head person that's doing it is the person in contact is coming out of the TRIO department.
Her name is Lerida Arias.
Fred.
Her full name.
Yeah.
Same person who ran it last time.
There you go. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote on the main motion. All in favor of approving, what are we? Item 5 under finance, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion carries. Congratulations. We'll move on to item 2, not to exceed $2,000 to Costco for supplies out of 71 equipment. That's actually on our main supporting docs. That's on the main supporting docs one.
Main support docs.
Yeah. There we go. And then Kathy, if you wouldn't mind walking us through this.
Oh, sure. Just hang a second. I get this.
All right.
Okay, what these 3 items are basically, okay, microwave. The microwave on this campus died a horrible death, so we need to replace it. We are responsible for the microwaves that are outside the cafeteria. So we need to replace the one over on this campus, the one outside the Starbucks, and one just in case, because rule of thumb, another one's going to break.
We'll have questions at the end. Go ahead.
And that's why I wanted to get 3, you know. And the metal shelves, the wire metal shelves are for the back room on the east campus, because when we have events, all the stuff goes in the middle of the room. I want it to go on shelves so people don't trip over it, or other people that, when clubs want to get in there and get the paper, they don't have to move or around or maneuver to get to it. So with these wire racks, the water and everything, items, the chips and whatever will be on these racks and out of the way up against the wall. I'm in the process of cleaning out the back room to get this taken care of. The ice chests, that's a no-brainer. The last 2 ice chests died at cram night last year. So I'm wanting to replace those, and I'm going to get 5 because originally we had 5. And these are really nice, so I put 5, they're all gonna be on the east campus. They're still checked because we don't have any place over here on the west campus to store them. So altogether, all the items are under, $3,000. It comes out to like maybe 13 or 14. But I want to justify why I want to get these. They're not for me, they're for the students.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Manriquez?
I move to approve 2,000, not to exceed 2,000 to Costco for supplies and 71 equipment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion? Senator Manriquez and Vice President Brown.
When will these be here? Because it's been almost it's been almost the whole semester that we haven't had these things.
I can tell you that we haven't had these things mainly because, like the coolers, for example, are seasonal items. The microwave, we were informed about this about a month ago.
Like a month ago.
And then the wire racks is just something new. So probably within the next 2 weeks. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes?
I'd like to use them for my event, so that's why I'd like to have them.
Do we know if the ice chests are in stock right now?
Yes, they are right now because it's getting to be spring.
Okay, so 2 or 3 weeks. All right. Vice President Brown.
My question is, the microwaves, I know from working in food services, the microwaves have to be, and I believe, and if someone can correct me, they have to be NSF certified, which is like NFS, like National Food Safety Certified.
Okay.
Which means that they're certified through the National Food Safety Organization to use for public use.
Okay.
And that's how the microwaves inside the cafeteria are, and I was instructed by Raquel they have to be the same way.
Okay.
So my question would be for you to direct Vice President Rao if they're that.
You know what? I'm not sure if we have that answer, but we'll look into it.
I'm pretty sure they are because
Okay, so.
As far as I'm in the work through food services.
So what was that again? NSF?
NSF, like NFS, National Food Safety.
Okay.
Something like to that regard.
We'll look into that. Thank you for bringing it up, though. All right. With that, do we have any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of approving item 6 under finance, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion carries. We'll move on to item 7, not to exceed $25,000 for the laptop program out of 71 equipment. We do have the budget breakdown. I think the senator to present on it is here. So we'll go ahead and present, but we do have what was the recommendation from the finance?
For the laptop program?
Yeah,
It was postponed because,
the presentation.
Yes.
So what would you like to do? Would you like to present on it and then at the next finance committee meeting just get the approval, or just wait until the next meeting? Next meeting? So if there are no objections, we'll go ahead and postpone it. The next finance meeting is in 2 weeks, okay? From that, we'll move on to item 8, which is not to exceed $15,000 to the Geology Club out of 71 Club Development. We'll have the presentation. Go ahead.
Okay, so the Geology Club is bringing this forward not for the
Can we
Geology
put the side
Club,
chat off
but
to the
for any
gentleman?
student
And then
that would like
electronic
to-
devices are only for the secretary and myself, please. No. Okay.
So, here it is. So this is actually a class. It's Geology 171. Any student can sign up to take this class, but the cost is $850 for you to take this class. It's a field studies trip. We'll be going to Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada, California, and it's basically a really great trip to go on. We do all kinds of field samples, field studies. We'll be going to the Grand Canyon. But any student can sign up for this, and this money that we're asking for is just to cover the costs, and it would be divided up equally among any student that signed up for this class to go to help cover that $850 cost. There's a maximum limit of 40 students that can go. So further up on this presentation here, there's a breakdown of, so you can see, those are all the places we'll be going right there. And that would be the breakdown. And it would be, and I'm going to clarify, it says scholarship applications, however, that's probably not the best thing. It's more, I guess you could say it would be more like a grant. So anybody that signed up for this class, Professor Hayes would be responsible for putting that money towards the students' fees with the business office. So it's basically not, Geology Club is sponsoring this and bringing this forward to ASMJC, but it's not for Geology Club. It's for geology students signed up for 171.
Do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Manriquez?
I move to not exceed $15,000 to the Geology Club out of 71 Club Development.
Do we have a second?
I have a question.
Hold on, do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Yes.
Is that move to approve or not approve?
To approve.
To approve? All right, thank you. So moved and seconded, do we have any discussion on, recommendation from the finance?
Yes, it received a positive recommendation.
Thank you. Discussion, I saw Senator Alvarez.
Is this under 171A or 171B?
I think it's one.
Can you still take this one if you've taken the other 171A?
Yes, you can.
Yeah? Okay.
Senator Galindo.
Is this a summer class?
June 11th, or June 16th through 11th through the 28th.
Thank you. Hold on.
Sign up. That's what I'm saying, but you have to have your money in by June 1st, but this would alleviate some of that cost.
Okay. Thank you. Vice President Brown.
I was confused on, this is less funds requested from ASMJC.
Right. It's just saying, this is what it would cost, and then if we receive the funds, and that's just showing different amounts of people. Anywhere up to 40 people can go on this trip, but there may not necessarily be 40 people to sign up. So I was just giving you different amounts, how it would break down.
All right, thank you. I think I saw your hand. No? All right, thank you. Senator Galindo.
Would this count?
Yes.
Does this count as a science or a lab?
No, I don't know the specific.
It's not, no, it's a field studies.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any further discussion on this item? Senator Alvarez.
Can I direct to Senator Galindo?
No. Yeah. Everything gets directed to me. That keeps these needed.
It would probably be under the one right before mathematics without the lab.
Okay.
On the CSUG.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We can definitely get connected with that information. All right. Any further discussion on this main motion? Hearing Senator Manriquez.
Just making sure that these funds are going to be distributed evenly between the students that apply for this class, not based off anything else, just strictly whoever's going, it's gonna help them.
Yes.
Okay. Was it?
It's just, it was a question, whoever, if
Okay.
there's 25,
Through a budget revision right now, where we have the updated information. I know that Jason, Megan, and Leticia went ahead and ran through the numbers really quickly, I think yesterday, right? And then we'll have that information for you. Yeah. Since the deadline isn't until June, and it's summer class, we should have more than enough time to fix that. Yeah. Secretary B.
I have a question. If it's coming out of club development, but it's not coming from a club, why are we taking it out of club development?
I didn't say where to take it out of. I don't know how I did that. I just put in the fund request, so what account you take it out of is really not my purview.
Okay. Vice President Brown.
May I move to strike club development and insert special projects? I'll make a motion if I can.
Is that a motion?
It's a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this amendment? Yes.
Make sure we have enough in it. For when we do the revision.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm taking out of special projects too, so.
Yes.
Keep the motion, please.
I move to strike club development, insert special projects, so this way it doesn't hurt the clubs.
All right. Senator Andrews.
Is there another account that would be more appropriate than special projects? That would be more fitting to this sort of special project?
You mentioned that last year you did something similar to this. Do you happen to recall what line item it came out of?
I don't. It wasn't last year. It was the year prior before I was.
Okay.
Maybe investigate to see what would be the most appropriate account to take it out and use that account.
Yeah. We can go off and just for right now, and put it up at the discussion. Do you want?
I mean, I don't want to override
Yeah.
Vice President Brown.
Do you just want to leave blankly for Jason to decide? Or do you just? Yeah.
If we can leave it blank, then do I rescind my motion?
Yeah, and just make a new
I move to rescind my motion.
Point of order, once it's been seconded by the body, it's no longer the individual's motion, it's the body's, so the body has to rescind it.
Thank you. We'll go for a vote on this. Yes.
I move to strike out.
Just strike out special projects.
Huh? I just moved to strike out special.
Point of order.
Yeah, but
Move
there's
to amend.
There's a motion.
There's a motion to move to vote and then come back to it.
We can make an amendment on amendment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I move to amend special projects by striking it out. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this? Yes.
We are still looking to see if we can score like a course, so to take that into consideration.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes.
Just for the record, I did speak with Dean Sanders about this yesterday to find out if it would be something that ASMJC covered. He said yes, it isn't covering the cost of the tuition. It's the supplies, like incentive supplies.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up, and we'll consult with them as we go through. I know that those are some of the questions that we had when we were looking at this, and we'll get a better a distinct decision for that. So. We have an amendment, we have a second, we'll take it to a vote. The amendment on the floor is to go off and strike out special projects and just strike it out, right? All right, all in favor of the amendment to strike out special projects, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion passes, and we'll just leave it blank for Jason to decide.
Can I make an amendment to refer and give the discretion to the finance committee?
All right, what's your
I would
motion?
make a motion that we refer the specific account and give the discretion for the finance committee to make that discretion.
Do we have a second? Moved and seconded?
I'm amending to give the...
Just for the line item. Just for the line item. So the amendment on the floor, it's been moved and seconded, is to go off and give the authority to the finance committee to determine the line item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? All right. Now we have the perfected motion, which now reads not to exceed 15,000 to the geology club, with the reference over to finance to determine the account number. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion carries. Congratulations. Yeah, we can clap. Number 9, not to exceed 5,100 for ASMJC Welcome Back Night at the Modesto Nets game at Modesto Nets on July 3rd, 2015. Out of 71, ASMJC presents. Vice President Brown.
Do you happen to have the first reading?
Did you email?
I gave that to you.
Okay, no, I don't have it.
Alright, I can pre-pull it. So, as you guys know, during our first club rush that was put on during this term, we handed out tickets for the Minnesota Nets game for firework nights. The turnout wasn't that great, to be honest. Out of 200 tickets, we probably got half of the people, but the experiences of the event were amazing as far as I heard from everyone that participated in it. From the one-inning announcements to...
Can we keep side chatter to a minimum?
I'm telling him what to say when I leave, so sorry.
Would you mind writing that down and he can read the report out? And it makes it a little harder. I know the microphones are really sensitive to that. I really appreciate it. Vice President Brown.
100, let me explain. It's only 4,600, but there's the reason we're getting money back is there's a deposit, $725 deposit to reserve the deck, just to make sure, like, oh hey, we actually are going to show up, and all the legalities of it. So we'll be getting that money back. So we'll be getting $700 back, $725 to be exact. What the rest of it covers is it'll be 125 tickets, which there'll be seating on the deck, and then just below the deck is the upper deck seats. So we'll have 125 of those reserved. If you don't want to sit on the deck, you want to sit closer, you may. There will be 90 minutes worth of food, which will include a very large tray of tri-tip, beans, macaroni salad, mac and cheese, and then drinks, which waters and sodas. We haven't been able to add vegetarian items, but I did add a cash advance, so we may purchase vegetarian items so that everyone can feel free to eat at the event. So it'll include 125 tickets, 90 minutes of unlimited barbecue or buffet, basically, with the items I just said. A visit from the mascots, another one-inning announcement experience, throwing out the first pitch, and promotion on the video board. And it's also on July 3rd, which is the largest firework night of the year, so it'll be a very spectacular event for everyone who's attending. The event is kind of an in-going, outgoing event for the ASMJC, as long as a bonding event for the students as well, bringing them in, introducing them to their new student government, their old student government, questions answered, and just time spent together. So it's a bonding experience that I think everyone enjoyed last time, and we're going to try and bring it back.
Thank you. With that, do we have a motion on the floor? Senator Galindo.
Move to approve not to exceed $5,100 for MJC Welcome Back Night at the Modesto Nets on July 3rd.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion on this item? Well, Senator Galindo.
Is it on the party deck?
It was party deck.
Thank you. Vice President Brown.
Is this also going to cover the parking fee too?
Yes, there will be 50 spots reserved. Okay, so 125. I'm not going to say I expect us to come, and I forgot the first name.
You're
I
welcome.
don't expect us all to come in 125 different cars. So what I reserved was 50 spaces. 50 spaces reserved towards kind of the far left side of East Drive, which is behind the dugouts. So we will have 50 spaces reserved for MJC to park there. Now I know 50 spaces to 125 people. Most cars fit 4 people. We're just trying to work out the system there. Didn't think it'd be fiscally responsible to buy 125 spots and then have everyone carpool when we could, environment. So yes, thank you. That is covered. I know it wasn't last time. That was a huge issue. I did try and take that into account.
Thank you. Senator Anders.
As the person who was in the one inning of announcing, that was actually a very interesting experience. It was actually quite fun. So, this is definitely going to be fun again, whoever gets to take that position again, whether it be me or somebody else. So, it's definitely something I can very worthwhile.
Thank you. Any further? What was the recommendation from the Finance Committee?
Receive a positive recommendation.
All right. Thank you. With that, any further discussion? Vice President Westbrook.
Okay, so when are the, their Welcome Back Night at Modesto Nets on July 3rd, so are we giving these out during, when are the tickets being distributed, is most of my question.
Yes.
All the paperwork is completely done. I'm just, once I get the minutes, I took it upon myself to try and get this very finalized because of the time period that it is live in as an ingoing-outgoing period. I hadn't really based a distribution system because I did use Club Rush last time. So I think we'll do what we typically do is like a student-wide email if we may. I know there's been some suggestion with student-wide emails. So I will take it upon myself and probably rally the clubs to print out some flyers, get them approved through Student Development Campus Live with Leticia, kind of get the word out that way. We'll put some, you know how we do with the center positions, we put up signs, people come in. There is not a finalized system of getting people to sign up. The 26 of us, clubs, and then students of MJC. So I guess I don't have a proper answer for that, but we always find a way.
Thank you.
Senator Ledesma?
Is this for just students only, or is it like students and their spouses or girlfriends, or?
We like to keep it to students only. I would leave that to the discretion of the chair and the business office to see if we're allowed to do that. I'm unaware. I know we're supposed to provide for students only.
Student funds, students only. Yeah. Secretary Keith.
I just want to reiterate, there's some members in this room that had such a big problem with Institute Day because they didn't think it was going fully to students, so it would have to go to students.
Yeah.
Just like Institute Day.
Thank you. With that, do we have any further discussion? Yes.
How is the drinking gonna be controlled? Have you guys thought about it?
We don't provide for alcohol.
But what if the students said, okay, they go on their own and they buy it?
As far as I'm aware, as long as we're not providing the funds, they're not on a school campus. We can't regulate that. But last time when we did have vouchers, we said no alcohol permitted. Besides that, I'm not really sure how the legalities work if you purchasing your own alcohol is recommended, you don't. But we won't be purchasing anyone on behalf of students.
I can tell you that the school is looking a lot more into these events. These are being paid by student funds, so school rules apply, both with code of conduct and anything else. I can tell you that they are going to be looking into it, and we can definitely make a request that we have people there to supervise if it comes down to that, because there have been incidents in the past when that question gets brought up. Okay? Thank you for bringing it up. I saw a couple of hands. Vice President Weaver.
I think he perfected this by creating, on the deck, there's a controlled area, so I'm sure that'll make it easier rather than just the general population sitting in the stands. That's hard to control, so I just want to commend him for taking that idea and perfecting it by having a controlled area.
Thank you. With that, any further discussion on this item? Senator Andrews.
Considering that school-sponsored events, if you do want to take the risk of having your educational career basically stopped and thrown out the car window going down 55 on a highway, figuratively speaking, go ahead and try it. But, it's banned from that, and you can be expelled from the college for drinking at a school function, which this would be. So it's up to you if you want to take that serious of a risk. But I don't think people are going to want to risk their school careers over it.
Thank you. That, do we have any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, we'll move it to a vote. All in favor of approving, where are we? Item 9 under finance, please say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? With that, the motion passes. Congratulations. Now, we'll move on to item 10, which is not to exceed $300 to facilities for powwow back payment out of 71 ASMJC Presents. The general gist of it is that last year when Red Nations and Friends went ahead and hosted the powwow, they went through and paid for the majority of things, but there was a facilities cost left over from the fact that the event was held over the weekend, so there was overpayment time by having to bring not special people, but by having to bring in people when they weren't scheduled to work. With that being said, the total amount was actually closer to $4,000, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the exact figures. It was $4,000. Hold on a second. So.
I was just going to elaborate on that, and it was because it was Easter Sunday. Monday, and
Yeah.
everybody was getting paid double time because of the holiday.
Thank you. So, the total that was left over in the balance was 4,000. Red Nations and Friends account has already went off and paid the majority of it, 3,000 plus. The only thing that's left over is a sum of $260 or so. So this would essentially go off and pay for the facilities costs. If we don't go off and pay for this, ultimately the business
Address some important issues and refer them to the proper places. For legislation, we are putting together 5 questions in regards to the Constitution and bylaws and what is going on in that process. They wanted to weigh in and have some of those questions answered, and that was a motion, and it was approved. Also to operations for office policies, as with the new advisors in the office, and it's a shared office between student workers. We really wanted to have a unity between the two in office policies. We also addressed a process with the Brown Act and the posting of our agendas and minutes, so that all the executives were doing the same thing, and we had to make some adjustments to that because it had the name of the past advisor on the actual documents, so that was brought through and those adjustments made. And so I'm just waiting for minutes now so I can bring it back to the next Senate meeting. We also, over the past probably about 3 weeks or so, have been conducting the application process for a couple of open senator positions, and finished the interviews and working through the deliberation to send those recommendations on. So I'm hoping that'll happen next week, at the beginning of the week. And yeah, that's what's going on.
Thank you.
Can you please have Executive Vice President Weaver send me the edible agenda for the Executive Council? I can't do the minutes without the edible agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Borges.
All right, so the election code, I'm happy to say that is now adopted. The election subcommittee, I believe I think it's 4 of us is on the election committee right now, and if there is anyone else who'd like to, I'm going to keep it down to 5. So if there's anyone else interested, please let me know. You can email me or just talk to me after the meeting. And other than that, we'll get started on the elections. March is Monday, so anyone who goes to that, have fun. Okay, that's it.
Secretary Keith.
I have a clarification question.
Yeah.
If you're on the subcommittee, you cannot be running in the elections, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just
All
making
right.
sure.
Vice President Brown.
That was part of my question, was if you could name the 4 people.
It was Asia, Eric, I think Jake is on it, and James.
All right. Vice President Brown, your report.
Oh, awesome. So, Club Rush went great. Woo. We did not get to meet last week for the activities committee, but we have finalized meeting times for the rest of the semester, which were forwarded to Executive Vice President Weaver. We're going to be meeting every 2 weeks, so if you want to take note, next Thursday we'll have a meeting, and every 2 weeks from that point on, we will be meeting. I can provide you a calendar for that. We do have some issues with being able to meet, but we're trying to work our best around those with the majority of the group, unfortunately. It was told to me at the last activities meeting to report back out on showing, because we wanted to do movie nights, and it's something we've been talking about since like day one. Unfortunately, John Irvin, when he was our advisor of sorts, had recommended I go through Swank Industries. I have talked to them. Unfortunately, for 10 movies and $1,000 is a good pricing for showing movies. They are the newest movies, but like then there's that, if I'm only showing to 100 people, does that really come out to $700? No. So I don't believe so. We are looking into one thing I'm going to bring up at the next activities meeting, maybe doing kind of like a March Madness with our basketball team, or like a community event. The Student Appreciation Day is something I've been talking to the activity committee about, which I can, if I at our next kind of a layout on how cram night goes, so for future events, or in any case the activities committee can back her up on that and or help run it in case of any emergency. And that's pretty much my report.
All right, thank you. With that, we'll move down to Senator report. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Is skips because I was doing something else on the computer. So basically, it's gonna be pretty simple. It's my usual thing that I say just about every time. Go to here, watch the videos. I know that's you've heard it all before. We're now over 100 videos. That's something good. Christian's happy about that. Here's our views so far in the page life. We're over 10,000 finally. So that's really good. So yeah, that's sort of where we are with ASMJC Productions as of right now. Starting the swing of softball and baseball. Still trying to figure out how to do baseball. Softball, we got down. So a lot of videos there. So also, if you missed the Julian Bond thing, please go and watch it. It was actually a really good speaker. If you weren't at the event, I know I saw a lot of you there, but if you weren't there, click on this video right here. This is part 1 of the event, but this is part 2, which actually has Julian Bond speaking. It's actually good. Also, if you missed one of the things, or if you wanted to watch it again for fun, there's the majority rules right there, which is very important for us. Yeah, so that's sort of that's what I'm going to say.
All right, thank you. Good job with that. Senator reports, left or right. Senator Galindo, do you have anything?
Yeah, I did this morning. I was sat in on the Student Services Council meeting. Talked about some great things. Finally, here we are going to be implementing a sort of practice test before you take your assessment test, which I feel has been needed here for the last 100 years. Unfortunately, I felt as if our students weren't going in fully prepared into our assessment test, because when you go in there, they hand you a piece of paper and it has about 5 problems in it. So this is going to be a really great system. It's on a website you log on to, take practice tests, and if you'd like, you can purchase. It's a little program where they go I would compare it to like My Math Lab, where 1650 they're talking about it. It's still up in there, but you go in there and you can actually have like live tutors and stuff like that. That's really great.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much for reporting and for attending that council. Senator Manriquez, do you have anything?
Yes. So my first Federation of Engineers Club meeting is today at 5 in Sierra Hall 109. Also my I just went blank, but my I don't know what it's called. My event. My Senator Project. Thank you. I'm a little sick and congested, so that's why I sound weird and I can't really think very clearly. However, it's going well. I will meet them.
All right, thank you. Do you need to leave or?
No, I'm just gonna. My comment to her.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I was saying, so the psychology club doesn't get the chance to actually count the voting and actually get some seed money to get their operations going successful. So as a club, you could actually agree to actually volunteer on the technical services.
Yeah, that would definitely be awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I've been remembered to look at everybody to look at me. Yes, go ahead.
Can I just get the date and the time again, and what campus again?
March 30th, right?
It'll be March 30th. Setup time will be at 8:30 a.m. and then it will end at 4 p.m. and it should be done by 5 p.m.
All right, thank you. West Campus, correct?
West Campus.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah, we'll just jump around popcorn style. Senator Ledesma.
When are you going to want to start advertising?
Yeah.
I would like to know when you'd like to start advertising.
When are you going to begin advertising?
I would like to start next week, so I would like to have a group ready by, I want to say Wednesday, where I can meet with them, and then also I'm going to try to make an appointment with Monica on Wednesday.
Okay.
So if they can be there, and then I will be there at the meeting as well, and then hopefully they can.
All right. Is it all right if anybody would like to volunteer emails you?
Yes, you can email me, call me, talk to me, whatever.
Anybody who would like to volunteer for the advertising portion, which sounds like it's going to be on a Wednesday for the first initial meeting, please email Rachel at ASMJC SME, right? You guys know the rest. All right. With that, reports. We have Senator Tafoya.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, Senator, take a look.
Okay, so I attended the Black Caucus conference 2 weekends ago, and I learned so much from it. It's very powerful and moving.
Okay.
And I thank you guys for approving the funds for that. And also, I have an appointment with my dean on March 19th at 3 p.m.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Camille Dana.
I just wanted to report on the Black Caucus. I thought it was very eventful. There were a lot of opportunities for the students that did go for practicing public speaking. They had segments where students were able to get up and as a group leader or participate in groups as facilitators, and just teaching us how to formulate ideas, like just power up and present our ideas as as a group. And then also the workshops were really interesting. They had a financial aid workshop, which I attended, which was something to help you gather information about when you attend a community college as a first-year student. That it's so important for the, one thing I learned was the high school students, when they first come in, if they don't attend right after high school, they lose money. So like a grant, there's a special grant for high school students entering college. There also were other opportunities for graduate students to receive money as well. And then the people who were speakers, there was an assemblyman there was a senator, Mitchell was there, and there were a lot of other mentors, and just it was a really great experience to get to know the students here as well. And they're going to be here on this campus next year, and we're going to be hosting it here. They're already in the process of planning it, and anyone can join and be a part of that committee. They'll be here as well tomorrow at the African American Leadership Conference after the event, and just gathering like clubs and groups. They want everyone to participate. Other things that are in the works are the Future Women in Leadership Conference, which we have a date for April 25th. I'll have the budget breakdown and everything ready to go at the next Senate meeting. There are different clubs that we're asking that want to be involved or participate, or if they have workshop ideas. I'm open to that because I'm forming everything right now, and I'm working with the women on campus and men. The E-Tech Club, I went to the power meeting they had earlier this morning, and they said that they would be interested in doing a segment to teach the people on this campus how to set up, like for one of the workshops, cell phones, your social media sites, things like that. And also I'll be speaking at the Student Development Day. I've been asked to speak there, and also I'll be speaking and doing a workshop at the African American Leadership Conference tomorrow.
Wow, really impressive. You're definitely fulfilling the community relations portion of your title. Good job.
Thank you.
Senator Alvarez, do you have anything to report out on?
I spoke with Eric Ivory. We're a little late in bringing the powwow back, and I don't think it's going to happen on around the same time where it usually does, but we discussed the possibility of a summer powwow, pending, seeing if we can possibly bring the community to have some things in the works, but that's the main thing that we're working on.
All right, thank you. Senator Andrews.
Okay. This might get a little lengthy, but I'm going to try to speed through this. I went to our faculty concert last night, which was actually really good, and I guarantee you, being able to hear an oboe, a clarinet, and a viola harmonizing together to sound like bagpipes is something you'll never hear again. And it was amazing. But besides that, I've got a couple things I'm working on right now. Vice President Rao and I, as well as Senator Huerta Soto. We're working together with Ron Tingley's wife to try to get, hopefully, the Student Services Building renamed in his honor. We've got some stuff in the works right now. Resolution is being written, and hopefully that might be presented to the Senate next meeting and to the ICC on Tuesday, hopefully. And I've also been speaking with Dean Sundquist about this as well, so it's been one large team sticking together with all this. Also, with the facilities and all that, they do have the paperwork process that they've almost got completely set and established. So there are the Shakespeare Garden project, which I know people are kind of curious about. Where's that? I have to fill out the paperwork for this to even get it going, so it's going to take a while. So it's going to be a very lengthy process because I have to get it in the queue to even be reviewed. I have to have budgets and all this, so it's going to be quite a while. So I haven't forgotten about it. It's just a matter they have to establish the process because of what happened with the benches. Also, I am going to be as has been requested by Vice President Weaver, and I've talked a little bit with Vice President Westberg. I've started looking through the Weebly site and also the MJC.edu student government webpage, and gone through, looked to see what the corrections and edits need to be made to bring them up to date, to make them a lot more easier to use, what can be taken out, what can be added, stuff like that. And hopefully next week I'll be starting on the edits on the Weebly page. So, and I'll be discussing that with Vice President Westberg after the meeting today, and hopefully get everything to be a little bit more user-friendly and get rid of some of the dead links and stuff like that. So I've got a lot on my plate right now, but I'm pushing very fast.
Thank you. Senator Ledesma.
Yes, I have 2 follow-up dates with Dean Mendez. We're going to go through the John Muir Labs, take a look at those 2 areas and find out if they're within specs for the ASC certifications. We're going to go over the contract status, the testing center areas, confirm the lab, and start chalking times for testing. And we have a tentative launch date of April 6th for the testing. But everything's just kind of on a list right now, so I'll get back to you on the rest of it.
All right, thank you. Senator Huerta Soto.
Pretty much had to say the same thing Senator Andrews had to say. We're all trying to work together to help JT, who is the widow of Ron Tingley, and hopefully we can get this going.
Okay.
And get to see some progress.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Senator Cepeda.
Nothing to report at this time.
Thank you. Senator Acosta.
Just been talking to my dean, going back and forth with Stavarina Dacus. Been in contact with Coach Morgan. No, I don't know, he left me a voicemail. I guess he belongs to the athletic division, so making some new contacts and trying to network a little bit more within my own department.
All right. All right.
Really good. I don't think, give me a second.
Brogan, the basketball coach?
Yeah, there you go.
Brogan.
Okay.
Is it Brogan?
Yeah.
Brogan. Okay. All right. All right, well, thank you. All right, with that, I think that's it. We'll go down to student trustees, not with us today. Student at large, is there anybody?
We do.
What?
For the trustee, if I may, just report one thing you want me to deliver to the Senate.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And apologies, the trustee is working right now. As you guys know, he works at the sporting events, the ticket booths. He just wanted me to let the Student Senate know, if you guys haven't heard or haven't seen, I just found out yesterday that the plaque and the pendulum is now up and ready to be viewed. If you walk inside, it's to the right. And that was all he had given me to pass on. So.
All right, thank you. Student at large, is there anybody that'd like to report on that?
We went to the, as Senator Dana told you, the BSU and MECHA and some of the senators here. We went to the Black Caucus. We met different senators and things like that. We want to thank the government for sending us and letting us have the opportunity to go into this leadership. We did learn a whole lot of different items. And that we have something coming up again this month, the African Education Conference, which is tomorrow from 8:30 to 4:30. If you guys like to volunteer, we ask you guys to come out and volunteer. It is to sponsor junior high and high school students.
Thank you. Any other students? Yes.
Hello. So I was one of the ones that went to the Black Caucus. It was an amazing experience. Seeing a lot of motivational speakers and also speaking about police brutality or grassroots. It was really important because a lot of us, our history is it's hidden, so we don't really know nothing. So it was a great opportunity for these speakers to come up and gave us that knowledge. Also, as for MECHA, we had our walkout event. It was a great turnout. I had some people even come up to me. I was really motivated, you know. I didn't know like Chicanos went through this. I didn't know like our people went through this, and this motivated me to speak up my voice as well. So that was really emotional for me, and it meant a lot to me. Also, MECHA is going to be presenting a workshop in the Hispanic Ed Conference, so we're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to bringing more of the cultural atmosphere here in campus.
All right, thank you. Is it Ann? Yes.
Yeah. So Geology Club will be having a barbecue on Monday in front of the Science Building for anybody that wants to come help us with our fundraising. And we'll also be hosting a table at the Gem and Mineral Show, which will be held at the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds, which is actually the biggest Gem and Mineral Show on the West Coast, I believe. So I should go check it out.
All right, thank you. Yes.
One thing that I did forget to mention is if anybody's interested in bowling, there is a midnight bowling event going on tonight with AGS. That's from 11:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. at McKinley Bowl.
Thank you. Any other students who would like to report out at this time? Hearing none, we'll move down to the advisory report. So for those of you that don't know yet, we have a new addition to our team. There's still some pending stuff going on, but nonetheless, I'd like to invite Leticia Lasoto, right? Lasota. Yeah, all right. So, would you like to say something at this time?
Just for those who doesn't know me yet, my name is Leticia Lasota, so I'm the new advisor. I'm really happy and excited to be part of this team. I just look forward to working with all of you. You know, I hear a lot of great ideas, and as you have learned probably that, you know, it requires a lot of planning, so I'm really happy to help you, to guide you, and you know where to find me. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're down to the address of the chair. Those of you asked if there was going to be a registration or a sign-in sheet for New Student Day. This is going to be passed around. Go ahead and the first one's March 14th. The date's on the heading as well. Please go ahead and write down your name, your email, your phone number, your shirt size, and whether or not you would prefer chicken or a veggie platter for your meal. I believe they're getting Panda Express if I'm not mistaken. So please go ahead and do that. I'd like to go off and get that sent out so that they can make sure that they have your order for your shirt in place and your meal. I'd like to thank Senator Camille Dana for stepping up and chairing the Finance Committee meeting. She did a splendid job. Really appreciate that. I went ahead and had a meeting with Al. There's quite a few new things that are coming on board for next year in terms of parking. So for those of you that go off and we all know that parking's a big issue here. They are looking at bringing in an electronic version for the parking and for the parking meters and all these different things. So I am very excited to go off and see that we have a vice president that goes off and includes students at the table. I mean, months in advance before this committee even gets started, and there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming out of that. More than likely, way after my time, and for those of you, it may be after your time, but nonetheless, it's going to come on board sometime around next year. Commencement is right around the corner, so that committee is going to start planning the graduation. I met up with the person in charge of that, and for those of you that are going to be walking the stage this spring semester, man, you're going to be and such a surprise for some of the ideas that have been thrown out there. So look forward to that. And then this is just for the General Senate. Let me point out something. Every senator is here, every that's still in here. So thank you so much for showing up. I know that it's not always easy to get up out of bed and come to these 2-hour-long meetings that get drawn out. And I'm not helping right now for the drawing out part either, but thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you guys are here. It definitely makes coming out here that much more palatable. So with that, we'll move on to announcements. I'll send an email for that, yeah. So with that, we'll move on to announcements. For those of you that don't know, yes. It's 8 to 2 or 3, sorry. Thank you for bringing that up. Announcements. Tomorrow there's the African Ed Conference. For those of you that are available, please make sure to attend to volunteer, and if you for some reason can't volunteer, make sure to stop by. There's a lot of good information that's going on there, and it's a great way for us to show support for both the BSU and John Griffin, which is housed out of our office. Yes.
What time will that be at?
Camille? 8:30?
It starts at 8:30.
It starts at
8:30 to 4. But they have different time sets. So if you want to come out from 7 to 11 and get stuff set up, or from 11 to 3, and then it's a slot from 1 to 5, they invite all you guys to come out and help out.
Thank you. So with that, I am going to go ahead and call this meeting adjourned at 3:06. Thank you everybody for showing up.
Sorry about my tardiness.
Oh, no worries. Kyle went off and let me know. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just got a little shaken. Bumped into someone. It didn't do any damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you bump into them?
Yeah.
Oh.